Hi smart people, come again with me, my Insia, in this channel. And yeah, how are you today? Is it good? I hope you are doing good. So today, same like before, I still discuss about communication, but for today's video, I will talk about nonverbal communication. And if this is the first time you to watch my video, actually I already discussed about verbal communication in the last video. So if you have not watched it yet, you can watch on my channel and then continue to this video. Yeah. Before we are going to the explanation of non-verbal communication, I want you to watch a short video. So check it out.
Listen to this conversation.
Hey brother, I have got good news for us. Guess what?
I'm not sure. I can't think. You can tell me if you wish to.
Father promised that this vacation, we will be going to Paris. Oh, we can have lots of fun there. Isn't it exciting?
Okay.
Is everything alright? You don't look excited?
I am all good. You need not worry.
The video illustrates the concept of both verbal and nonverbal communication through storytelling. It shows how misunderstandings can arise when communication styles are not aligned. The video emphasizes that gestures, facial expressions, and body language can complement or even contradict what is being said verbally. It's a light-hearted educational example designed to highlight the importance of understanding and effectively using both verbal and nonverbal cues to avoid confusion in daily interactions. The misunderstanding in the video occurs because of the misalignment between verbal and nonverbal communication. The characters likely communicate using words that do not match their body language, facial expressions, or gestures, leading to confusion. This emphasizes the importance of ensuring that both verbal and nonverbal signals are consistent and clear to avoid miscommunication. Misunderstandings like this often arise when one party misinterprets the nonverbal cues that accompany spoken words.
From the previous video, it is one of the example of a nonverbal communication. So, do you know what nonverbal communication is? In this video, we will learn together about nonverbal communication because I will explain about nonverbal communication, start from the definition, key elements, example and application, and then common mistakes of nonverbal communication. So make sure you watch this video till end so you can understand what nonverbal communication is. The definition of nonverbal communication refers to the use of body language, facial expressions, gesture, postures, and other nonverbal cues to convey meaning. It includes from eye contact and tone of voice to hand movements and personal space. The signals help to communicate emotions without use the words. A significant portion of communication happens non-verbally, and much of it is unconscious. This means that people often express their feelings or intention without realizing it through their body language or facial expressions. Nonverbal communication is crucial because it can reinforce what is being really said, convey emotion more effectively, and sometimes even contradict spoken words and giving into a person's true feelings. It's especially important in contexts where words alone might be insufficient, such as relationship, negotiation, or cross-cultural relations. Understanding nonverbal cues can enhance communication, build rapport, and helps avoid misunderstandings. Okay, we continue to the breakdown of different aspects of nonverbal communication. And nonverbal communication, there are 5. First is facial expressions, gestures, eye contact, postures, and proximity. And I will explain first is facial expressions. Facial expression is a powerful tool for conveying emotions more often vividly than words. And of course, we always do facial expressions whenever we are crying, happy, or others. And these facial expressions is it's not just happy or sad, but there are five. First is happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, and confusion. And I will explain one by one of these facial expressions. First is happiness, a smile with raised cheeks and crow's feet around the eyes, often accompanied by relaxed facial muscles. Second, sadness, downturned lips, drooping eyelids, and a slight furrowing of the brow. The face appears slack, and the eyes may look teary or distant. Third, anger, furrowed brows, narrowed eyes, and lips pressed together or slightly open as if ready to yell. The facial muscles are tense. Fourth, surprise, raised eyebrows, wide open eyes, and an open mouth. The face looks momentarily frozen in a state of shock or astonishment. The last one is confusion, furrowed brows, a slight head tilt, and lips that might be pursed or slightly open. The expression suggests uncertainty or puzzlement. Second, gesture. Gesture involve hand and arms movement to support communication or replace the words. Hand and arm movements play a crucial role in communication by either supporting spoken words or replacing them entirely. This gesture can enhance understanding, emphasizes key points, or convey messages without use verbal language. First, reinforcing verbal communication. Hand gestures can emphasize or clarify what someone is saying. For instance, when someone talks about size, they might spread their hands wide to demonstrate big, or bring them close together for small. A speaker might also use rhythmic hand movements to underscore important points.
Not all communication is done with words. Dogs wag their tail to show when they're happy. Cats put back their ears when they're not. People look at you to show they are listening and smile when they like you. You can tell if someone is shy, excited, or blue long before you talk to them. Why do you wave to people you know? What does putting up your hand mean in class? We use nonverbal communication every day in every conversation. We even use it when we are on the phone. Many children with special needs have trouble making eye contact, so they miss a lot of the nonverbal cues. It's like flight deck personnel on an aircraft carrier. Without words, they direct jets worth millions of dollars just with the movement and position of their arms.
Second, replacing words. Gesture can communicate messages without any words. A wave can say hello or goodbye. Thumbs up signifies approval and pointing directly attention to a specific job or to specific object or location. This simple movement convey meaning instantly and are often understood universally.
Good morning, sir. What can I get started for you today?
Express yourself.
What size? All right. 3 venti lattes. Would you care for a pastry? Nope. Mocha. 3 mocha lattes. Oof. Double chocolate chip muffin. Yum. You want 3 Paul McCartney CDs. Awesome. You know, I love the Beatles. They are my life. So assassination. Abraham Lincoln. You, me, gun, shoot. 3 shots. I know, I'm a little slow today. All right, so 3 lattes, 3 mochas, double chocolate chip muffin, and 3 shots. No assassinations. Oh, and 3 Paul McCartney CDs. That's gonna be $68.12.
The video explained how different gestures can convey meanings in various contexts and cultures. Nonverbal communication is essential when ordering food, especially in settings where verbal language may not be easily understood. For example, traveling abroad or dealing with language barriers. Gestures like pointing at the menu, using hand signals to indicate quantities, or nodding to confirm choices are common. Eye contact and facial expressions can also show politeness or eagerness, while body language like leaning or holding up fingers can specify the numbers of items. Nonverbal cues are useful in making the ordering process smoother without needing extensive verbal interaction.
Gestures have different meanings across cultures, so it's essential to be aware of these differences.
It's well known that some gestures mean different things in different parts of the world. In some places, such as Britain, this means everything's okay, while in Brazil and other places, it's considered obscene. And in still other places, such as Japan, it means money. In Italy, they might make this sign to emphasize a point, while in Jordan, it can mean wait a second. Certain things often have gestures for them. For instance, in most places where drinking alcohol is popular, there's a sign for drinking or getting drunk. In the US, it's this. While in France, they grab and twist their nose, and in Russia, they flick their throat. On the other hand, some places have more or less unique gestures. In Russia, to say you're making things too complicated, you scratch your ear by going around the back of your head. Among the most common and probably oldest gestures are nodding for yes and shaking the head for no. But even this isn't universal. Bulgarians are famous for shaking their head to mean yes and nodding with a click of the tongue to mean no. And in South Asia, they have a third option, which involves tilting the head from side to side. It's used to acknowledge the person speaking to you, although in some contexts it can also mean approval or even uncertainty.
We go to the application and example of nonverbal communication in different settings. There are 2. First is formal settings and second one is informal settings. Nonverbal cues are crucial in formal settings such as school and job interviews because they can significantly influence how a message perceived and the impression one leaves.
Listen to this story. A meeting is in session with the sales head, project head and the CEO of a company.
Good morning everyone. We are here to discuss the pricing of our new product.
I think it should be 200 rupees per can. We are getting good sales in the US.
No, that's a rubbish idea. It should be only 120 per can. If you make it costly, people won't continue buying the product.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Oh, I don't care what you think about me. Your idea is a flop.
Can both of you please be quiet? Let me think for a while.
Clearly, my suggestion is the better one.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Enough. Get out both of you.
Even with perfect content, poor body language can undermine confidence, engagement, and professionalism. There are 3 keys of nonverbal cues to focus on.
First is posture. Maintaining an upright posture conveys confidence and attentiveness. This is the good posture. Slouching, on the other hand, can make someone appear disinterested or unprepared. Eye contact. Consistent eye contact signals that you are engaged and trustworthy. Avoiding eye contact can come across as insecurity or dishonesty. For example, during a job interview, maintaining natural eye contact with the interviewer fosters a connection and demonstrates that the candidate is confident and focused. Contrast, someone who looks down or away frequently may appear distracted or uncertain. Control gestures. Hand movement can be effective in emphasizing points, but overusing them or making erratic gestures can be distracting. For example, in a presentation, a speaker who uses open, measured hand movements to highlight key points seems polished. On the other hand, someone projecting with their hands or making rapid, uncoordinated gesture may detract from the message. Proximity. Personal space refers to the physical distance we maintain between ourselves and others during social interactions. This space can greatly influence how comfortable or uncomfortable people feel in a conversation. The appropriate amount of space often depends on the nature of the relationship, the context, and cultural norms. First, intimate space, 0 to 18 inches. This is reserved for close relationships like family members, partners, or very close friends. Being in this space suggests familiarity and trust. Second, personal space, 1.5 to 4 feet. This is the distance most people maintain during friendly conversation. It's close enough for a personal connection but not too intrusive. Third, social space, 4 to 12 feet. Used for more formal or business-like interaction, this distance allows for professional communication without invading personal boundaries. And last, public space, more 12 feet. This is common in public speaking or when addressing larger groups where physical closeness is not required. The impact of distance on communication. First, too close. If someone stands too close to another person, especially when they are not familiar, it can make the other person feel uncomfortable, defensive, or anxious. Invading someone's personal space without permission can be perceived as aggressive or inappropriate. Second, too far. Standing too far away, on the other hand, might suggest disinterest, loveness, or lack of connection. It can make the conversation feel distant or formal, even when a personal tone is intended. There are 5 common mistakes in nonverbal communication. First is crossing arms. Second is avoiding eye contact. Third is fidgeting. Fourth, overusing gestures. And last is inappropriate facial expressions. First is crossing arms. And please watch the video. Crossing arms across the chest is a classic gesture of defensiveness. It is often used when someone feels threatened, insecure, anxious, or stressed. In Western cultures, crossing arms is often perceived as a sign of defensiveness, resistance, or disinterest. It can also indicate disagreement with the speaker or the idea being presented.
Your idea is a flop.
Can both of you please be quiet? Let me think for a while.
Clearly, my suggestion is the better one.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Enough. Get out, both of you.
Avoiding eye contact. Eye contact is a key component of nonverbal communication that plays a vital role in expressing attentiveness, interest, confidence, and respect during conversation. Here's how it works. First, attentiveness and interest. When someone maintains eye contact while speaking or listening, it shows they are engaged and interested in the conversation. It signals that they are paying attention to the speaker or making sure their message is being received. Second, confidence. Holding steady eye contact can communicate self-assurance. People who maintain eye contact while speaking often appear more confident and persuasive. Last, respect. Making eye contact shows that you value the person you're interacting with. In many cultures, it is a sign of respect and politeness, as it acknowledges the other person's presence and contributions. On the other hand, avoiding eye contact. When someone avoids eye contact, it can suggest nervousness, discomfort, or a lack of confidence. In some cases, it may also be interpreted as dishonesty or disinterest, even if unintentional. Fidgeting. Fidgeting is making small movements with your body, usually your hands and feet. It's associated with not paying attention and often reflects discomfort and restlessness. For example, if you have been listening to a lecture for a long time, you may find yourself tapping your pencil. Fidgeting can increase your psychological arousal and help you feel more alert. The physical activity of fidgeting can provide a temporary distraction from whatever activity you are doing. Some scientists argue that the mental break fidgeting provides is actually your body's way of trying to stay focused on the task at hand. Another study trust source suggests that a fidgeting body simply reflects a wandering mind. Stress can also cause fidgeting. In some cases, fidgeting can relieve feelings of stress. Overusing gestures. Overusing gestures. While gestures can enhance communication by emphasizing points, using too many or exaggerated gestures can become distracting. For example, if someone constantly waves their hands around while speaking, it might take attention away from their words, making it harder for others to focus on the message. Overusing gestures can also give off an impression of nervousness or lack of control, which might confuse the listener or make them feel uncomfortable. Inappropriate facial expressions. Facial expressions should align with the message being conveyed. If your facial expression doesn't match what you're saying, it can confuse people. For instance, if someone shares good news but maintains a neutral or serious face, it creates a mismatch between their words and expression. This can lead others to doubt the sincerity of the message. Similarly, smiling when delivering bad news can come across as insecure or inappropriate, making the listener feel uneasy or unsure of how to interpret the message. Both overusing gestures and mismatching facial expressions can reduce the clarity and effectiveness of communication, making it important to strike the right balance and ensure nonverbal cues match the intended message.
In conclusion, nonverbal communication is essential, with facial expressions, gesture, posture, eye contact, and personal space playing critical roles. Your body language should complement your words, not contradict them, whether in formal or informal settings. It's important to be mindful of the signals you're sending through nonverbal cues. And please take control of your communication by paying attention to the subtle cues you are sent. By refining nonverbal communication, you can enhance your relationships and interaction in everyday life.
8. Before this video ends, let's try to answer the following questions first. One day, Mia noticed her friend, Jake, looking sad during lunch. He wasn't talking much and kept his head down. Mia didn't know what was wrong, but she wanted him to feel better. So, she sat beside him, gently patted his shoulder, and gave him a warm smile. Jake looked up, saw her smile, and gave a small smile back. Without saying a word, Mia had shown Jake that she cared. They sat together quietly, and little by little, Jake felt better just knowing Mia was there for him. Sometimes, actions speak louder than words. Based on the story, please answer these questions. Number 1. Why did Mia notice that Jake was feeling sad during lunch? Mia noticed Jake was sad because he wasn't talking much and kept his head down. Number 2. What did Mia do to show Jake that she cared about him? Mia sat beside Jake, gently patted his shoulder, and gave him a warm smile. Number 3. How did Jake react when he saw Mia smile? Jake looked up and gave a small smile back in response to Mia's smile. Number 4. What did Mia's action communicate to Jake without using words? Mia's action showed Jake that she cared about him and wanted to support him. Number 5. What is the main message of the story about nonverbal communication? The main message of the story is that sometimes actions like gesture and expressions can communicate feelings and support more effectively than words. Questions Part 2. Please read this short story and answer the questions based on the story. You can choose one of the correct answers between A, B, C, or D. Each number has a value of 10 points. Count how many points you get. The silent message. On the first day of junior high, Max felt nervous. He was in a new school with new faces and he hadn't made any friends yet. During lunch, Max noticed a boy named Leo sitting alone, looking just as shy and lost as he felt. Max took a deep breath and walked over to Leo's table. Instead of speaking, Max gave a small smile and pointed to the empty seat across from him, silently asking if he could sit. Leo nodded and smiled back. Max sat down, and the two ate together without saying much, just exchanging glances and smiles now and then. After a while, Leo reached into his backpack and pulled out a small notebook filled with cool sketches. Max's eyes lit up, and he gave Leo a thumbs up. Leo grinned and pushed the notebook closer so Max could look at it. Without saying a word, the two started flipping through the pages, with Max pointing at his favorite drawings and Leo nodding, clearly pleased. By the end of lunch, even though they had not spoken, Max and Leo felt like they had already become friends. They learned that sometimes you don't need words to understand someone else. Sometimes a smile, a nod, or a simple gesture is enough to build a connection.
So that's all for today's video. I hope you get something new from this video. Come back for more. We'll see you here. Bye, smart people!